Yo, hello everyone and welcome back yet again to another daily update video. My name is CryptoStash and I hope you're all having an amazing week. Currently it is Tuesday and let's get right into the charts, as Bitcoin is currently trading at almost $68,000 while we are still currently remaining below that POC of this new range that we have been creating ever since that sharp drop towards the low 60s. Basically a little bit, I think, below 60k we did drop, but yeah, ever since this sharp drop we have been creating this sideways range, and right now we are basically, as you can see, between the high volume node and the value area low of this range. You can see the volume profile is kind of P-shaped, so basically this suggests some very tight price action until we see some breakthrough, because at the lows right here we don't have, you can see, very low volume, and most of the volume that has traded is around 69k, which is basically the previous all-time high from the last cycle. But other than that, we are still trading below the weekly pivot. You can see it right here, and we are also currently sitting below the Monday low. Our Monday range is very tight that we formed yesterday, not much of a move, around 4% of a Monday range, and we are potentially not going to see a break. Like, we might see like a bit of a pump above it or maybe down below it, but other than that I do believe we are going to be remaining until at least the end of the month, or until like the end of Q1, in this tight range for us to consolidate. The stock market, as you can see, the Nasdaq and the S&P 500. S&P 500 is currently sitting at its most important support level. If we fail to hold this level, then the next level to look for would be the low right here from back in from basically the beginning of the month. You can see right here that would take us down another like 1%. And if those lows right here are lost, basically those ones, then we are going to be looking for lower price targets from back in November 2025. You can see right here 6,500. This would be like the deepest correction I think that we're going to see for the S&P 500. That would take us down around 7.3%. And for the Nasdaq, same thing. If we see a deeper pullback, we could go all the way down towards those levels that we have right here. If you look at it on the daily time frame, that support is going to take us somewhere around those lows, so basically 22.8, something like this. But other than that, let's look at some altcoins. Ethereum right now trading just below $2,000. We are also creating a very tight range for it right here. As you can see, if we draw our volume profile, we are currently sitting right around the POC level. The value area high is around 2.1k. That would be actually a 6.1% of a move, so quite a bit of a bigger moves, guys. When we get down to those prices, every pump is like a big pump. Of course, you can see if Bitcoin pumps all the way up to like the monthly open, that's a 16% move. If Ethereum pumps all the way to the monthly open, that's like 20% move. So in bear markets, every pump is like a big one. The risk gets bigger as prices go lower. If we look at the dollar is also looking like it's going to target like the EMAs right here, or maybe even potentially the yearly open level, which is of course going to give Bitcoin some more weakness. As you know, once the dollar is high, that means Bitcoin will be struggling. The same goes for the equities like the Nasdaq and the S&P 500. Other than that, let's look at some of the open interest and the volume. We do have like over an hour left for the New York session open, and we currently have very low volume in the market. As you can see, nothing is happening, trading below daily VWAP, and right now the open interest is coming up while price is going down. So of course this is not a good sign. Of course I am expecting a move towards the upside once the New York session starts. Why is that, you may ask? You can see we have liquidity sitting around this level right here where we left off yesterday. We did not manage quite to grab that liquidity. So from 69 to like 71k, it is very possible that we get a move up during the New York session open. Fear and Greed index is remaining at 13 right now, nothing new. We still don't have any spot ETFs inflows or outflows since it was a bank holiday yesterday, and we don't have, basically our last reading was from 13th of February. We are going to be getting some today, but not quite yet. Long versus shorts ratio, you can see we do have still more sellers in the market overall on the major exchanges right here. Funding rates are remaining positive, you can see, on most of the major exchanges. And we did have like our news for today, which basically were not that important, but we do have our cluster of news right here that would be coming out tomorrow. And on Friday also we're going, basically Wednesday and Friday are the most crucial days for this trading week. And for now, my bias, if we manage to flip like the weekly pivot, we could test the value area high once again. But in my opinion, I do think we are going to see price start to struggle there again. If, of course, basically the stock market is also starting to drop, then Bitcoin will also follow, in my opinion, even if we get like a move up to maybe the second weekly resistance. I could then see something basically like this happening. But other than that, I do think this covers it for today, guys. Hope you liked the video, and I'll see you again in the next one. Bye.